Hello everyone, our group would like to present our research titled The Impact of Part-Time Work on Academic Performance Among UMN Students. This study focuses on how working students at UMN balance their academic responsibilities with part-time jobs. Before we begin, let us introduce our group members. The research team consists of myself, Floresita Aprillia, Lionel Farrellio, Marvellius, and Muhamad Attila Fatih. Together, we work collaboratively to investigate how part-time work influences students' academic outcomes. Without further ado, let's get started. Around the world, more university students are working while studying. This happens because education costs continue to rise. Many students seek financial independence, and employers value experience gained before graduation. Recent data from the US, the UK, and the ILO show that student employment is becoming a global pattern, not just a local phenomenon. This trend pushes students to balance both academic and work responsibilities at the same time. This research explores how part-time work affects UMN students in three main aspects: their grades or GPA, their ability to manage time, and how they prioritize academic tasks. These three components help us understand whether working supports or hinders students' performance. Unlike many research studies that focus only on grades, our research examines academic performance more holistically. We analyze both formal indicators like GPA and non-formal indicators such as time management and prioritization. This allows us to understand not only what happens to students' academic performance, but also what happens when they work part-time.
This literature reviews explores the impact of part-time works on students' academic performance by synthesizing key studies and theoretical perspective across several subthemes. It begins with background information on the growing global trend of students engaging in paid employment while studying, followed by definitions and key concepts that clarify how part-time work and academic performance are understood in existing research. The review then discusses the significance of exploring this topic, particularly in relation to its contradictory findings, and outlines the scope of the review, including empirical and theoretical sources from multiple contexts. The purpose of the review is explained to emphasize the focus on formal academics customs such as GPA, alongside non-formal indicators like time management and prioritization skills. The discussion proceeds by examining both the positive academic impact of the part-time work, such as in change discipline and motivation, and the negative effects, including stress and declining academics performance when working hours become excessive. It further highlights time management as a mediating factors, showing how students' scheduling abilities can determine academics outcome, and explores priority setting and academic responsibility as critical behavior that influence performance. Finally, the review identifies research gap, particularly in how academics performance is measured, and concludes with key insights that frame the need for deeper investigation into how part-time work influence both GPA and learning behavior among UMN students.
Okay, Marvel, thank you for the explanation. In this study, we use a qualitative research design because we want to understand the real experience, the challenges, and the strategy used by UMS students who work part-time. Qualitative data alone cannot be capture complexity of their how work students, their balance, their academic, their work responsibilities, so a qualitative approach was more appropriate. Our participants were the UMS students who had been working part-time for at least 3 months while taking actively the course. We use purposive sampling, meaning that we intentionally selected the participants who had been first-hand experience balancing their work and study. This helps to ensure the data we collect is rich and relevant to our research question. For the data collection, we conduct the semi-constructed interview with a focus group discussion. This free method allows the student openly share their personal stories, including their how many hours they work, how they manage their deadline, and how their part-time job affected their grades and their routines. We also field notes and review and supporting documents such as university policy and their context to the findings. Finally, we analyze the data using the thematic analysis based on Brown and Clark framework. This method involved the identify the pattern themes across the interview through a process so that we able to categorize our findings into the key themes related to academic performance, time management, and prioritizing. This approach allowed the use systematically in interpret the student experience and they connect them to our research objective. For the next part is my friend Lionel gonna talk about finding and discussion.
Alright, thank you Fatih. Now we'll move on to our findings and discussion. Our study shows that part-time work has a significant but varied impact on UMN students. These effects differ depending on each student's habit, job demands, course difficulty, and adaptability. Firstly, regarding academic performance, many students experience an initial decline in grades due to reduced study time, especially in theory-heavy or calculation-based courses. However, after some adjustment, many students were able to stabilize their GPA by developing better routines and stronger discipline. Some even said that part-time work helped them avoid procrastination, which explains why many describe the impact as 50-50. Second, we observe major changes in time management. Students who use structured weekly plans manage their schedules more effectively, while those with irregular work shifts often relied on spontaneous planning, leading to stress and rushed assignments. Conflicts between deadlines and work schedules were common, and fatigue from long working hours made it harder to concentrate and finish tasks on time. Third, part-time work also influenced students' ability to prioritize academic responsibilities. Most students still place academics as their top priority because they viewed education as a long-term investment. Some even felt guilty when work interfered with their classes, while others justified it based on necessity. Financial pressure and career goals also shaped how students made decisions between work and study. Overall, these findings show that part-time work does not have a single universal effect. Its impact depends on time management skills, personal discipline, course difficulty, and emotional factors such as stress or guilt. With these key findings summarized, we now move on to the conclusion of our study. In conclusion, part-time work has a complex but measurable impact on UMN students' academic performance. Many students face early challenges such as reduced study time, schedule conflicts, and fatigue. But many also adapt and develop stronger routines over time. Time management emerges as the central factor that determines whether students struggle or succeed. Students who plan consistently tend to maintain stable grades, while prioritization is influenced by long-term goals, financial needs, and emotional responses. For future research, we recommend using larger samples, exploring different job types, and conducting longitudinal studies to understand long-term patterns. We also encourage universities and employers to provide better support systems for student workers. That concludes our conclusion. To complete our presentation, we'll now show the references used in this research, formatted in APA 7th edition. Thank you for your attention.